What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna start the channel off a little bit low, mellow. It's a Sunday. You guys just had a wild Saturday. It's gonna be chilled. It is 12 o'clock here in the UK, 3 p.m. Kenyan time. I hope you had a fantastic Saturday evening. And for those of you that have joined, I really do appreciate the time that you're taking out to check out the channel. So thank you very much, guys. Today's going to be a couple of things that I wanted to talk about, and one of them being the attention span. And it's a tough topic to talk about. You know, it's one of those things that not a lot of people are coming to that realization that this is something serious. And I don't know, it just could be me. Maybe it's just me that has realized that this is something that we need to address. I don't know. From my experiences with social media, with my experiences with phones, these devices that, like, these are such powerful devices that we're just sitting in our pockets and they can do so much, but we're just if we're not using these appropriately, right? These can really mess with your head. And I don't think like a lot of people are taking this like seriously. And I wanted to do this session today was just try and just talk a little bit about attention span, a little about focus, because let me ask a couple of questions, right? Have you ever noticed that you get bored easily? Like, there was this one time I remember I told one of my friends, I was like, I like to go for a walk for an hour and I leave my phone behind. And then she was like, but don't you get bored? And I was thinking to myself, like, is being bored a bad thing? Are we in a society, in a generation where we have access to so much content that being bored is seen as a bad thing? Why? Why are we not allowed to be in our own thoughts? When we were kids and we didn't have this technology, what the hell were you doing then? Didn't you have access to your own thoughts? Like, you were thinking about stuff? This whole thing about multitasking and consuming all this information and 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 being able to process it like at lightning speed is it's all a myth, especially multitasking. Because people say, "Oh, I can multitask. I can read messages, respond to emails at the same time, talk to you." You see people on the table with phones on their on their hands, and you're wondering what the hell is going on, man. So I told this girl that I like to go for a walk without my phone, and she's like, "You don't get bored?" And I think that's the time I just realized, like, damn, what kind of a society, what kind of a generation are we living in? Is this what social media and the apps and these high tech devices have done to us now? That we're not even allowed to be in our own thoughts and come up with our own creative things to discuss and talk about? Do we always have to be online? Do we always have to be constantly chatting and looking at information and being up to date with information? And what kind of information is this anyway? When was the last time you were curious about something? Like, seriously curious. Like, you didn't look at something or looked at an ad or looked at some crazy meme and you were genuinely curious about something. Like, you were just in your thoughts and you were like, I wonder how blueberries are made or grown. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, right? So here's another question. How many times have you gone on your phone to do one thing, but then you end up doing like 1,000 other things, except that one thing that you were supposed to do? You can't focus. these devices, social media, it's capturing our attention. And it was funny, like what happened yesterday, and it just got me thinking, like the minute I said that, oh, my friend's not able to come in online at this time, can you guys hold on for a couple of minutes? The views just dropped from like 7 views to like 2 views. And it's like people just lose interest so quickly. Their attention span is so small. And there's research. We're going to go through articles today. I'm going to show you. These are articles online. You can research on these. You can like Google these, and they're free for everyone to read. Articles talking about how our attention spans have just plummeted. A goldfish's attention span is it 8 seconds or nine? It's 9 seconds, and the average human today it's 8 seconds. We're even our attention spans are less than a goldfish. A goldfish is better than us. What the fuck, man? You go on your phone, you're like, oh, let me. You genuinely want to do something, like you want to write, you want to take down a note to maybe a shopping grocery or something. Oh, I'm running low on like sugar. Let me just put down a note. So you go on your phone, but it's like 30 notifications, like 3 emails and 5 chats, and like 2 Snapchats and oh my God, TikTok. Don't even get me started on TikTok. So you have all this, and then you're like sidetracked because they're all begging for your attention. They're all begging for your attention. It's like attention is more valuable than money at this. That's what I feel. Your attention is more valuable than the money in your pocket. And the only way that they can get your attention, these big tech giants, the only way that they can get your attention is by looking at your data, right? Extracting your data, because through data they can see, okay, this is how this person reacts to certain posts. This is how this person feels when he looks at certain things. We can manipulate them. When you have data on someone, you can manipulate, because you can predict someone. When you can predict someone, you can manipulate that person. So multitasking, I just feel, is a myth. Our minds, biologically speaking, are designed to focus on one thing at a time. There's nothing like multitask. We're not computers. Our minds are focused to work on one thing. You do that one thing with perfection, and then you move on. So a long time ago, I kind of left social media, and even right now, when I'm on Instagram, it's like I'm here because I'm a content creator. I want to get my stories out, and I'll talk a little bit about why I'm here and what I'm trying to do. But this is just for my own personal development, and hopefully, if whoever's watching out there can check this out and be like, okay, yeah, I guess this kind of makes sense. I'm not telling you guys to completely cut it off, but too much of a good thing is bad for you. You eat too much sugar, you get diabetes. Watch too much porn, you get addicted. Spending hours on TikTok. TikTok is such a, man, that is cancer, yo. I remember there was a time I joined, and I wish I didn't. All I could see was people just copying other people. There wasn't even a single piece of creativity on that thing. It was just people just copying other people, just to get validation, just to grab your attention. You're on that site, and 3 years 3 hours down the line, you're like, where did my 3 hours go? Remember that time Facebook went down? Remember that time WhatsApp and Facebook was down? I got text messages and emails from people that have never freaking messaged me when they were on WhatsApp. It's like they just woke up. It's like the world just disconnected. We all just woke up like, whoa, what just happened? We go to concerts, we go to shows, and we just stand there taking pictures. We're not there in the moment. We're not enjoying the moment. We're not living in that moment. There was a time I traveled to Manchester, and when I came back, and one of my friends was like, "Oh, you sent me old pictures of when you were there." And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't take pictures there." And she was just like, "Why?" Because I'm living the moment. You go that when you travel to a place, you're not there to take pictures so you can put it on social media and like flaunt and show everyone. Oh yeah, I went there and did this. Okay, I'm kind of like drifting off topic, but my main point was attention span. Trying to stay focused on one topic, trying to stay focused on one subject. If you're not able to have that attention span to focus on something, how are you supposed to have a meaningful conversation with someone? And if you can't have a meaningful conversation, how are you supposed to connect with them emotionally and form a relationship, for instance? My previous relationship, it was messed up. It was just sharing memes and cracking jokes. What the fuck is that? How can we not have a meaningful conversation? You're just sharing memes, cracking jokes. Oh, look at this meme, babe. What are we going? Where are we headed, man? So, yeah, if we can't focus on a single topic for more than an hour, then how are we supposed to form relationships? And there's another article about that. We'll talk about that in a minute. There was this thing in the article. I'm just going to read out what it said. Storytelling is one of the ancient methods of communicating ideas and images. In the traditional societies, young children were told stories by their parents, grandparents, uncles, aunts. As young people progressed through their early years, listening skills became increasingly imperative, and there's no better way to improve attention and listening skills than by telling stories and keep them focused. So this is what I'm doing. I noticed that I was not able to stay on topic. I was not able to, when I was on social media and constantly just consuming all this content, overloading my mind with all this freaking junk. You're looking at other people's lives at the same time. You're looking at people that you've never even freaking met. And you're following these people religiously, and you're just looking at all this information, just clouding your mind with all this unnecessary information. You're not even giving your mind time to process this stuff, right? Back in the days, you would have access to, maybe you'd watch a series like once a week. You'd watch one episode once a week, and you'd reflect on that one episode the whole week. You'd think about it and be like, "Oh yeah, so that's what they did. And this is why they did this." But now it's like, "Oh, this episode's about to end. I need to find something else to watch quickly." It's messed up, man. It's really messed up. I think I think the best way to describe this is think of it like, let's say there are two people, right? One person's given 50 plates to wash, and the other person's given like three plates to wash, and they have like 1 hour to wash all these plates. So what do you think the person with three plates is gonna do? He's gonna wash them like he's gonna take his time to wash these plates properly, isn't it? You've got an hour to wash three plates. You'll wash it very slowly. You'll lather it up. You'll even have time to dry the plates. But someone who's got 50 plates, he's going to skim through it. So the concept behind this is you've got access to all this information, and you come back from work and you have probably maybe 2 hours after work before you have to go to sleep. And in your head, you're like, okay, I only got 2 hours, and there's all this content to watch. You're overloading your brain with all this information. You can't focus on one thing. It's messed up, man. Have you ever wondered, like, you get bored easily? Doesn't that concern you? Doesn't that make you feel like that's scary, man? We remember a time we never had these devices, man. We would just hang out and discuss stories, like share stories and emotions with people. When you share a story with someone, right? You're connecting with them. You're sharing knowledge. You're sharing an emotion. You're building a connection. But we're not doing that anymore, man. We're just sharing memes and funny jokes and oh, look at this. It's so funny. Your attention, your ability to be creative and think of new ideas is your real value. Like the way I see technology, going in the future, it's like, yeah, fine, everything's getting automated. Everything's like smartphones and everything's on the internet and you use smartphones to do almost everything, right? And everything's getting automated. Even programmers are going to be like, they're going to grow exponentially. We'll have so many programmers around the world. Everyone's going to be coding, right? But who's going to be thinking of new ideas? These big tech giant companies, they're just monitoring you, extracting your data to build AI to replace us. I don't know. Oh, there's so many things to like discuss around this topic. So, but yes, attention. Try and focus on one thing. Try and do one thing and perfect it to the best of your ability. I think there was an article I read about how like the mind works, where think of it like this, right? There's a man sitting in your head, okay? And this man is at a desk, okay? They're sitting on a desk and they're looking outside your eyeballs, okay? So they're looking at the person that you're talking to. And this man has to go in the back of the brain to go through files every time you ask him a question. Have you ever noticed when you ask someone a question, hey, what were you doing on Sunday? And then they'll like you'll notice their eyes will like go up, and then he'll be like, I don't know. I think I was at that point, that man in the head, well, the man is going back at the back of the brain, opening the files to look through records and see what the hell was I doing on Sunday? Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. He'll come back, sit at his desk, and then speak out the information, like, deliver the information out. Our minds are designed to do one thing at a time. And our ability to focus on one thing is just getting it's getting crushed because we're exposing ourselves to so much information constantly like this. It's like we can't even focus on one thing. We lose interest so quickly. And that's why we have this hookup culture. We just see women just swiping through Tinder, men just swiping through Tinder, oh yeah, she's cute. Let's hang out for a bit, and you just lose interest. You're not able to focus and bond and create a really good relationship with this person. Impact of social media on our attention span and its drastic aftermath. These are articles you guys can just check out. I mean, I don't know if you guys can even read this, but yeah, I think today's session was just going to be a bit about this, and then I'll talk a little bit about the job thing. But yeah, this is crazy, man. 73% of Americans report feeling certain degree of information overload. Yet we continue to interface with it on a variety of devices and media, both professional and social. The fear of missing out, and it's like because everyone's on it, it's like, oh yeah, let me also do this. Phantom vibration. Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. The feeling that you've got a phone in your pocket. Have you ever left the house? You've left the house. You've left the phone. You've left the phone at home. You've left the house, and then you suddenly feel like the phone's vibrating in your pocket. You're designing your brain to constantly get used to being distracted. Ooh, that's bad. The study also confirmed generation differences for mobile use. For example, 77% of people aged 18 to 24 responded yes when asked, when nothing is occupying my attention, the first thing I do is reach for my phone. When was the last time you were maybe sitting in a bus or you were sitting in a train commuting from work, or you were stuck in an elevator with some people? Everyone's on their phone. It's like being bored is so scared. That's like, why are people afraid to be of being bored? Like, why can't you give your brain some time to just process the information you've just read? Come up with your own conclusions, come up with your own ideas and thoughts instead of just constantly reading new stuff all the time. I'll share these in the description. I don't know if anyone's gonna check them out though, but yeah, this is where we are. This is where we are, man. This is where we are. It's crazy. I don't know. Today doesn't look like I've got a lot of viewers. Maybe just one or two, but I really do appreciate whoever's watching. I really do appreciate. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Right. Anyway, let me tell you the story of how I got the. Oh yeah, sorry. Before I go to that, is there anything else over here? There's this other article about social media and mental health. I'll share the links to these articles. Look at the positives as just point notes, but then the negatives are like freaking paragraphs of like why you shouldn't be doing this, why you shouldn't be doing that. So I mean, attention span is one of the one of the reasons why, but there's so many other reasons. But I just wanted to touch on like one topic, but because it kind of like affects the story that I was going to talk about after this. But yeah, I mean, this is where we are, guys. This is where we are. So the first time that I landed here in the UK, looking for a job in in software engineering, working as a mobile developer. I started off in Kenya, actually. That's where my journey began. I worked over there for a couple of years as a software engineer, and initially when you start a job in a new field, it's like you have to, if you don't get on your toes and like really learn new things quickly, you're gonna be left behind, right? And no one's gonna like hire you. Like you see people, a lot of people is when they get into the first company, when they just join after they graduate, they just join this company, and then they're stuck there for like 10 years. It's because they got comfortable. They don't want to get out of their comfort zone and learn new things. So I really made an initiative to like make sure that I learn as much as I could when I was there. I really did. And what ended up happening was my passion for mobile development it exploded. I don't know how it happened, but I just found like this was my calling. This was something that I really loved doing. And so what ended up happening was, even after working at that company 8 hours a day, when I'd go back home, I would still be doing the same thing, but working on my own personal projects. So I would be building apps at the company. I'm not going to mention the company, but I was building apps at the company, and then I go home and I build my own personal apps because I wanted to learn as much as I could. And so I did this for a couple of months, and then I got a side project come in. This guy, he wanted to build an app. It's called Hotel Aid. Well, that was a while ago, but it's not on the Play Store anymore. But we literally released this on the Play Store. It was actually live, and people were using it. And what the project was all about was hotel managers could find people to come and work at their hotel for temporary reasons, like temporary, you hire someone in, and they come and clean, maybe they clean the rooms, or they come in as a chef for the day. And so that's what the app allowed them to do, find people. And so it helped the the job market, especially in the hotel industry, and it ran for like a year. And yeah, so this is what I worked on. And initially, when the guy came in and he said, "This is the project I want you guys to work on," he had the funding for the first month. It was a 6 month project. He had the funding for the first month, and I got started. He paid us up front. I got started. So we were a team of like 6 or 7 guys. No, it was actually 5 guys, yeah. And then as the time went on, and he was not able to fund the project, obviously some people dropped out. They were like, "We're just in it for the money." But I was like, "No, I'm gonna see this project all the way through." And so I did the project. I built the app all the way till the end, and we deployed it. I put my heart and soul into this thing because I was learning. All the whole process. The whole process was to learn. That was my main mission. Was I wanted to learn as much as I can. I want to have this on my CV. In the future, I don't know. Someone might notice that this is something. This is something really good. Someone might notice it. So I did it. So after the first month, and he was not able to fund the project any further, I still continued on for 6 months. Finished the project, deployed it onto the store. We got a couple of clients. Then it kind of fizzled out, and I think the marketing team kind of did a crappy job. Uh, Sorry, the marketing team, but yes. So it wasn't really marketed well, I guess, and because of lack of funding, we weren't able to reach out to as many people as we would have hoped. And at that time, unfortunately, I had to leave. So due to other reasons, so I left. I left Kenya. I came into the UK. Now, when you come to the UK, people think when you're coming in from Kenya, people think, "Oh, life is just you've made it in life. You've done it. It's done." It's not done, man. It's just as hard as it is in Kenya, especially when you're coming in initially without any experience, without any qualifications from this country. You're screwed. Every place that I'd go to, and I'll be like, "Hey, can I'm looking for a job," and the first question they'd be like, "Do you have any work experience here?" No. Where have you been working before? Kenya. I'm sorry, I can't accept you. You know. So it was tough. It was tough, and I'll never forget this interview that I did. After several interviews, this interview I'll never forget. This dude was amazing. We did the interview, and and then he asked me like, "So apart from like these companies that you've worked for in Kenya, what else have you done?" And then I was like, "All right, yeah, I did this hotel aid app. I worked on it for 6 months. They didn't fund us, but I still built it." And the guy was like, "You worked in this like on your own, like without anyone telling you to do this, or you didn't do it for money or anything like that." It was like, "Yeah, yeah, that's what I did." I'm not lying to you guys or anything. I'm not bragging or anything, but he gave me the job on the spot. He saw the app. I demoed the app, and then once I was done, he was like, "So how much do you want?" And I was like, "What do you mean? How much do I want?" He's like, "How much you're hired? How much do you want?" And so, guys, so attention spans the first thing that I want you guys to try and work on. Okay, focus on one thing, perfect it, do it with passion, and someone out there is gonna notice. Someone out there is gonna freaking look at you and be like, "Wow, this is amazing work. I really like this," and it's gonna happen. So yeah, that's basically it. I don't know how much time I have left. Probably maybe a minute left. Yeah, it's fine. I guess I'm slightly overboard, but yeah. Anyway, so that was it, guys. Just had a couple of thoughts in my head, and I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm really grateful for whoever joined, whoever's watching out there. If you did like the stuff, do hit the like button, hit the comment, put a comment there, whatever, and really do appreciate you guys. So thank you so much. And I will see you guys next weekend. I told you I'm going to be doing this every weekend, man. Every weekend because I got to improve my storytelling skills. Because when you're able to tell a story from start to end, you're improving your ability to communicate, which is something that I'm really poor at. My communication skills suck, right? So this is why I'm doing this. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for checking out the channel. Today was just a chilled out Sunday, chill out records. But yes, I will get back on schedule next week. I've got a couple of things lined up that we're going to discuss. It's going to be epic. Hope I will be able to capture your attention next weekend. But yeah, thank you so much for checking out the channel, and I will see you guys on Saturday next week. Have a fantastic week ahead. Stay focused, work hard, and peace.